Wow. I stayed up really late for that. Leafs lose 3-1. I mean, mainly 2-1 to the San Jose Sharks. And yikes. That was really, really, really rough to watch. I mean, if shots on goal suggest anything, the Leafs lost in shots 37-21, and they had over half of those shots in the second period alone. They had 5 shots in the first period and 4 in the third. Now, San Jose is a very good team. We know that. The Leafs are a young team trying to learn and get better. I get that. But we traded for Brian Boyle. We traded our second round pick for this year. We've already traded 2 of our 3 second round picks for this season. We only have 1 left. And this game had 1 point written all over it. It was just like Freddie Anderson played a ridiculously good game. And I thought, we get to overtime. Freddie Anderson won us this point for sure. But I don't understand what the guys were thinking on that last play when Hurdle scored. Patrick Marleau got the assist. Well, yeah, he deserved the assist. Why? Because there were 3 Leafs on him, and they didn't even try and move him. He just stood there, waited, gave it to Hurdle, and he sniped it over Freddie's shoulder. There's 3 Leafs right in front of him. Either go for the puck, take the body, do something to disrupt them. But no, Marner falls down. And I don't know who the other 2 were, but they were just standing around looking. The Leafs didn't deserve this at all. Gardner and Marchenko, that pairing tonight was atrocious. When you have Hunwick and Pollock playing better than you, and they're the better pairing, there's something you got to think about, right? And this game hurts a lot more because Boston won, Montreal won, Florida won. It's a game where every other team in your division won and you lost. And the teams trying to catch you, like Florida, won. Therefore, Florida's only 1 point back. The Islanders are 1 point back, and they have a game in hand, right? And the Leafs, I understand this 3-game set against San Jose, LA, and Anaheim are not going to be easy. But my goodness, that bad? Yeah, I remember. I think it was last year. Was it last season? I think it was, I think it was last year when the Leafs played San Jose in San Jose, and it was an absolute gong show. I think it was it was really bad. If you guys remember that score, please let me know in the comments. I mean, I remember that was just a game where you're like, okay, first 5 minutes, I don't want to watch this anymore. It was kind of one of those games, right? And, this game started out okay. The Leafs came out firing. With the Sharks, you can't let them get going early, right? Because then they don't stop. The Leafs didn't let them go early, right? The Leafs did well, right? They had their opportunities, and then they took a penalty. The Leafs took a penalty, and that's where everything fell apart in the first period. I think San Jose had 5 shots on that power play, and they just kept going throughout the period. Leafs come out in the second period and do a great job, and Austin Matthews, off a great feed from Josh Levo, snipes it over Martin Jones. His 31st goal of the year ties Patrick Laine, and Nylander grabs the secondary. Leafs lead 1-0. And then nobody decides to guard Brendan Dillon whatsoever, just above the top of the circle. It wasn't at the top of the circle. It was just higher than that. And he just absolutely bombs it past Freddie Anderson. I understand there was no screen, but that was a bullet. And it was in a great spot, kind of posting in. It was a beautiful shot. Second goal of the year. We got a tie game, and it's all the way until 1:24 to go in the third period. And we already discussed how that garbage went. That sucks, man. It really sucks. And then the empty netter, somehow Pavelski gets behind all our defenders and just puts it in the net. I just don't get it. I think you guys can agree with me that the Leafs didn't even deserve anything in this game. Usually we're like, you know what, we'll take a point. Fine. Well, yeah, that was my philosophy until they didn't get the point. And I'm like, you know what? As much as I'm really mad that they didn't get a point, or maybe luckily 2 points, they didn't deserve it. Like, I'm trying to think from a Leafs fan's perspective. I'm mad. They didn't get the points. Plus the other teams got the points. But man, did they really deserve to get that win? Not at all. San Jose outplayed them throughout most of the game. Second period, for the most part, was all Leafs more or less. But this first and third period, the Leafs were nowhere to be found, and Freddie Anderson stood on his head. And it's funny, what I've noticed with the Leafs, and it's kind of frustrating me a little bit, when Freddie Anderson plays absolutely fantastic, as he has in the last, he didn't play that well in Montreal, or against Montreal, 3 goals and 28 shots, but nonetheless, he didn't do that bad, right? It wasn't really that, he kept us in that game more or less, and he stole us that point. And against the Rangers, he had 1 goal on 38 shots, and somehow we got a point out of that. But then when he gives up 4 goals on 20 shots, we get wins. When we give up a ridiculous amount of goals, we find ways to get wins, which I don't get. But, because I think they did a stat of, his last, 9 starts, right? He's 6-1-2, which is great, but his goals against is 3.44. Oh, I wonder what his goals against the save percentage is in losses. It's probably, really good. So it's like, if they can just form both, the Leafs can score a bunch, Freddie does well in net, boom, recipe for success. If it was only that easy, right? Overall, though, that was a rough one. Welcome to the Leafs, Brian Boyle. Didn't really see him out there too much, to be honest with you. I mean, he didn't obviously play. He's not a guy that's going to be, ripping up minutes. He only played 12 and a half minutes. It's not like he's going to be a 20-minute killer, right? But he was okay when he was out there. I wouldn't say he was anything noticeable, but you got to think of what he's gone through, right? He just got traded. He travels. This trade happened yesterday. He goes all the way out to San Jose, different time zone. You're with a new team, and you're facing the San Jose Sharks in San Jose in your first game as a Leaf. Kind of intimidating, but he is a veteran, so he's got to come at it all gung-ho and impressive. But, like we said, the Leafs did not deserve to win that game, and they didn't win the game. Plain and simple. It sucks, but it's reality. It's great to see Austin Matthews continue his goal scoring at 31 goals. I mean, he's been unbelievable. And good to see Mitch Marner and Bozak back in the lineup. Mitch Marner was a spark plug. But something I want to mention before I close off the video was Tyler Bozak shooting if you guys remember this, Bozak had literally a full net to look at. Jones is down and out. Right? I think this was in the second period. Jones is down and out. It's over. And Bozak has the puck on his stick. There's not a defender on him. Well, maybe, but he's not pressured too much. And he literally shoots the puck back at Martin Jones, but literally misses the net completely. That's literally a tap-in goal. And you miss the net completely. It's not like it was tipped off the end of the stick. No. You had possession and you shot it wide. They also hit the post a couple times. I mean, it was kind of a recipe for yuck. And that's what it was. So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hey, hit that like button because this game sucked. If that makes any sense to you. I'm not sure if it does to me, but hey, if it does to you, then great. Hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Comment down below what you guys thought of this game. I mean, it sucked. But let me know what you guys think. Who'd you like? Who'd you think was god-awful? Gardner was god-awful in this one. But somehow, let me guess, he was an even player or a plus? No, he was a minus. Ho-ho! That's what he should be. I mean, it kills me. But let me know what you guys think. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Raptors edition. So they're back after their day off. And they're at home to take on the Wizards, who beat Golden State today. but they're on the second half of a back-to-back. Hopefully the Raptors can take advantage because we're at home and they're on the second half of a back-to-back. Let's beat them down. And we'll also talk to you guys Thursday, Leafs edition as well. Leafs and Kings. Second game of this California road trip. We need something out of this game. We'll see you guys then.